Siemaneczko, witam na kanale, jestem Bartul, to jest 7. materiał z The Outer Worlds. Pytanie. Okej, tutaj się mamy udać. Na wyspę, a raczej na planetę Pionier. Niezależna stacja orbitalna w pozostałościach pierwszego statku kolonizacyjnego Arkadii. Dobra, doki w Pionierze. Tutaj podleciałem, ale okazało się, że tutaj nie mamy zmierzać, tylko tutaj. Co ona mi znowu dupę zawraca?
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
Tak, o co chodzi?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Jasne, możemy się tam udać nawet teraz.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Dobra, myślę, że na razie nie. Okej, otrzymaliśmy zadanie od towarzysza, pijące szafirowe wino. Szkoda, że to nie jest... A nie, jest zadanie towarzysza. Tak, zadanie towarzysza. Nie zwróciłem uwagę. Szkoda, że tutaj te ukończone nie są dzielone też. I tutaj mamy takie żółte paski, a raczej złote. To są misje główne. Także tutaj przynajmniej taki podział jest. No dobra. Doki na Pionierze. Bierzemy oczywiście Maxa i Parvati. Te dwie postacie będą z nami przymierzać kolejne lokacje. Zaraz zobaczymy, jaka plansza, jaka mapa. Kurczę, powiem wam, że gra jest po prostu fantastyczna. Czekajcie, niech się doładuje. Wszystko ok. Jak wygląda mapa? Lokalna. Długi loading. Jest, wszystko jest tutaj już jasne. Mamy, zwróćcie uwagę, podział na piętra. O, mater deo. My jesteśmy na czwartym. Dobra.
Just checking your...
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying. Now's not a good time. I'm dealing with a problem here.
So, go space yourself. Problem solved.
You must really want a truncheon through your teeth. Do what you want. I'm done here.
Whatever you heard, it's all true.
Chętnie wysłucham twojej wersji wydarzeń. Co się stało?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
W rzeczy samej, do mnie. Jestem kapitanem zawodnego.
Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
Dobra, ani nie otrzymałem zadania, ani nic, ale dobra. Okej, to już jest kradzież. Docker.
Yeah, I've done work for Sublight. Need to pay the bill somehow.
Dobra, rozejrzymy się po okolicy.
Identification, please.
Pokaż identyfikator Howardtona.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Shit.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Masz pojęcie, dlaczego skonfiskowali mój statek?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Jasne.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you?
Dobra, fajnie, otrzymaliśmy kolejne zadanie. Szukam niejakiego Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Chcę się napić, polecisz mi jakiś lokal?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep.
Can we move this along? I have a certain matter I'd like to attend to, Captain.
Jak właściwie działa ten cały holding Arkadii?
Are you pulling my leg? You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the Board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
Więc gdzieś w jakiejś sali zasiadają dyrektorzy wszystkich tych spółek.
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help. All right.
Dobra, na razie tutaj... Co możemy powiedzieć o Udomie Bedfordzie?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. Really likes his cereals, too. Maybe a little too much. Bit of a weird bird, all told.
Dobra, dobra.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Udom takes it to an unhealthy level. Be seeing you.
Dobra. Możeśmy się ogadali, ale przynajmniej mamy spóźniony transport. Doktor Wanda Dorset, lekarka ze stacji, oczekuje dostawy medycznych automaszyn. Wiecie co, zobaczmy sobie to i zobaczmy, czy mi tutaj gra gdzieś pokieruje. Niestety nie. Spóźniony transport. O, proszę. Tak czy inaczej będziemy tutaj jeszcze, wiecie co, może wrócę się. Sprzedajmy śmieci. Z. O, nic nie mogę sprzedać. Bo już porządki robiłem wcześniej. Tutaj de facto chyba... Myślę, że tu warto zajrzeć na dach. Ale tu chyba widzę, nic nie ma. Dobra, już. Auć. Kaseta z identyfikatorem Marines. Czekajcie, tu mnie chyba nikt nie widzi, to możemy to czmychnąć. Kaseta z identyfikatorem. Udało Ci się znaleźć kasetę z identyfikatorem do użycia w zasłonie holograficzne, automatyczne. Maskowanie zostanie uruchomione po wkroczeniu na teren odpowiedniej strefy zastrzeżonej. Aha. Chyba tak się składa, że tutaj chyba nic więcej nie ma. Dobra. No to już nie będziemy tego brać, bo mnie złapią.
Hey.
Captain, could I have a moment of your time?
Czy ja tutaj mogę coś ulepszyć? Nie. Ewentualnie możemy naprawić, ale nie na razie wszystko jest sprawne.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
Jakie macie aktualne listy gończe?
Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is, not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but 2 officers.
Latanie w stanie wskazującym na spożycie niedozwolonych substancji.
Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
No i super, mamy kolejne zadanko. Jak to spracować w bronie na stacji kosmicznej?
Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand? Then get to business or get moving. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know. It's a Groundbreaker thing. Nothing to trouble yourself over.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker security do for you today? Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, mister?
Próbuję się zorientować, gdzie jestem. Co tu robicie?
This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore. I'm not so good at filing. mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times, well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away. We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... we just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sunita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something.
Perswazja 45, to chyba tego nie miałem.
All right.
Czekajcie. Perswazji 45 na 45 poziomie nie mam, więc na razie. A, 52 mamy.
What can Groundbreaker Security do? The Chief Junlei Tennyson. She runs the ship. Does a real great job of it too.
Chyba nam to przypadło.
Her family's worked on it for, gosh, since it was built, I think. Back before the crossing.
What's she like? Is she a good boss?
Good as she can be, I guess. What with all the troubles Groundbreaker's facing. She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters. Sure is, but she makes it look easy. She's real competent, our chief, even if she ain't real friendly. That's what I'm here for, sir. I told...
Zaraz sobie, o to, perswazja, jesteśmy kumplami, prawda?
All right, I guess. In and out, though. Just try not to do any shady stuff. I'd like to keep my job.
Puścił nas? Czekajcie, zapiszemy sobie grę. Ale tu nic nie ma. A, 35 poziom otwierania potrzebujemy. Czekajcie, sobie to spróbuję hapnąć.
What do you think you're doing?
Kłamstwo. Nic takiego. Zakończ rozmowę. Zastraszenie. To na co mam ochotę. Perswazja, to ja sobie pójdę.
Keep your hands to yourself.
O cholera, jasno. Tu można się nachapać. No. Nieźle. Spoko, żeśmy trochę rzeczy zabrali. Okej, dobra. Czekajcie, zróbmy jakieś zadanie, może co? Kim jesteś? Zobaczmy tu. O, to jest daleko. Spóźniony transport. Można by tutaj się udać i odzyskiwacz w przestworzach. Dobra, to w takim razie spóźniony transport jest chyba najbliżej. Skonfiskowane towary. Dobra, tutaj chyba można... Ale widzę, że puste więzienie. Dobra, idziemy dalej. Trochę żeśmy pogadali. O kurde, to by się nam przydało wziąć. Nagroda za zasługi dla spółki. Okej, tu już nie jest... Zwróć uwagę, czy... Aha.
News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch.
O cholera.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Move along.
Mam nadzieję, że długo nie będziemy rozmawiać.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown.
W jaki sposób Pionier broni się przed Radą?
Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one.
Dobra, nie będziemy wszystkich opcji dialogowych wyczerpywać. O, dobra, wiecie co, to jest chyba związane z zadaniem. Podróż gdziekolwiek. Dobra, tego na razie nie robimy, tylko zrobimy sobie zadanie poboczne. O kurde. Gdzie to zadanie jest? Wytrup i zabij kapitana Magreda. Jest. Dobra. Czekajcie. Zamknijmy to, bo tutaj możemy sobie poszperać. Tu są potrzebne karty, więc tego nie otworzymy. Aż dziwi mnie, że mnie goś nie zauważył. Dobra, tutaj opuszczamy na razie to. Na razie głównego zadania nie robimy. O, Mater Deo. Więc tam możemy się włamać, ale szkoda mi na razie tych... Jeszcze jedną rzecz sobie tutaj ustawię. Gamma. Wydaje mi się, że jest troszeczkę... Ja widzę jakaś akcja.
Sublight salvage. Their front looks surprisingly on the upper.
Duża lokacja, cholera.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You...
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the unreliable? Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door. Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
No dobra, otwieraj drzwi. Holy crap. No nie będziemy się tutaj włamywać, nie możemy sobie wejść na tarasik. Dobra, robimy zadanko.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. Charmed. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. I didn't ask. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings, but there's a catch.
Ale nie mam statku przecież teraz.
Just like in the serials.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits.
Domyślam się, że podświatło nie zajmuje się wyłącznie odzyskiem.
These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interests into other sectors, where I can let my hair down.
Jakie inne sekrety są obiektem zainteresowania podświatła, poza odzyskiem i transportem?
Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal advisors tell me to phrase it. Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation and a shot across the bow. You know, legal formalities.
Czyli jesteście zbiurokratyzowanymi piratami.
Your words, not mine. Hey, careful with the C word around here. I like to keep things above board, and that kind of talk only makes trouble. Sublight occupies a legal blind spot. No one knows what we're licensed to do, and that gives our little business some freedom. But let's not tempt fate. Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets, grids in general. I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for being the most organized one. Ask. I have nothing to hide. Be seeing you.
Czyli de facto tyle, jeśli chodzi o to, o odzyskiwać w przestworzach. Lilia Hagen jest szefową firmy Odzysk i Transport pod Światło. Jej biuro znajdziesz na promenadzie Pioniera, zaraz przy sprzedawcy szczurodogów. Szuka kogoś z dostępem do Gwiezdnej Zatoki na Monarchu. Porównaj z nią, gdy zdobędziesz klucz nawigacyjny. Dobra, czyli to zadanie jednak nie zrobimy, matko. Pijące szafirowe wino. Raczej tak. I tutaj też nawet nie mamy żadnej informacji, gdzie iść. Spóźniony transport. Kapral Wheeler ze służby celnej Pioniera poprosił Cię o poinformowanie dr Dorset w ambulatorium o tym, jak wygląda sytuacja z jej dostawą. Aż kurde, żadnej informacji tu nie mamy, gdzie iść. A czekajcie, mamy to zaznaczone, jestem ślepy. Dobra, tamtego zadania nie wykonamy.
We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined along a path that is only visible in retrospect. Life is fated and unstoppable.
I don't know, Mr. Vicar. That seems like quite a leap.
Something I can help you with?
Mogę uzupełnić u Ciebie zapasy. Wygląda na to, że masz dobry asortyment.
Not without dispensation from Chief June Lei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
Jak to?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable. Take care.
Czyli de facto tutaj nic się nie dowiemy.
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene?
See, Furu? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place.
Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay?
As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Może ja bym sprawdził, co u Jessie?
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
Ale proszę, otrzymaliśmy jakieś zadanko. Matko i córko, najgorszy kontakt. Ellie sądzi, że coś złego dzieje się z jej znajomą Jessie, która podejrzanie długo i chętnie przybywa w ambulatorium Pioniera. Czy ja mogę sobie to wejść? Okej, na razie zrobimy to zadanie spóźniony transport.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Will kazał ci przekazać, żebyś przestała mu truć dupę swoją dostawą. Wheeler mówił, żebyś się nie spodziewała za prędko swojej dostawy.
He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
O kurde, czyli co, de facto musimy opuścić to miejsce? Odszukaj nas Scylli, kapitana Iriona. O matko. Dobra. No to nie. Tego też zadania nie zrobimy. No niestety. Zasłona holograficzna włączona. Do intruzów strzela się bez ostrzeżenia i obciąża grzywną. Zasłona holograficzna została aktywowana, zapewniając ci tymczasowy dostęp do strefy zastrzeżonej. Ruch wyczerpuje wskaźnik mocy twojej zasłony. Po jego wyczerpaniu członkowie personelu będą mogli cię zobaczyć i podejść, aby cię przesłuchać. Możesz uśpić czujność rozmówcy poprzez umiejętną rozmowę. Zasłona odzyska wtedy pełną moc, ale z każdym przesłuchaniem będzie trudniej.
Looking sharp.
I de facto... Restic Area, czyli de facto jaka ma tam... Ja wtedy i tak chyba nie przejdę.
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
For the last ratted on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you?
Ellie mnie przysłała.
What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone.
No się o ciebie martwi bardzo.
Quimini. She really ain't gonna drop this, is she? Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed folk that we are. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
O proszę. Czekajcie, jak już tu jestem. To możemy sobie to hapnąć, co?
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear.
A mimo to twierdzi, że Rada kazała cię śledzić i musisz się ukrywać.
Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years.
I ukradłaś go.
If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent.
Ellie prosiła mnie o pomoc, więc zamierzam jej udzielić.
Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
No dobra, wow, 9600 doświadczenia. Chyba nikt nie widzi, co? Dobra, nie traćmy czasu. A, bo my mamy strój jakiś. Dobra, to jakaś sala operacyjna. Dobra, postaram się to zadanko ogarnąć. No nie wiem, czy damy radę, czy nam wystarczy czasu, czy nie będę musiał też gdzieś, wiecie, mykać.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the board and its agents would be more content, sitting at the top of the system's food chain as they are.
Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer?
Alex, Jerzyja, to bez znaczenia. Czemu zarekwirowałeś mój statek?
I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now if you're captaining it. It's a game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells. He tells me he will soon. I impound his ship. He explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go.
Pasjonujące, wracając do mojego statku.
Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? Oh, awful business that. But why? How? No. Best not to ask after the gory details. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. What? Indeed. And you know where he is? Excelsior! An apprehension of this caliber will be tremendous for my career. I'll send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium, only... Oh, la. Oh, no. Just a teensy one, the teensiest. Nothing to, lie awake worrying about for nights on end or anything. The thing is, I needed money. A lot of money, quickly, for reasons. That's really neither here nor there, don't you think? I've been working on something on the side, all right? Something not entirely, on the level. It's a little silly, I'll admit. Silly and completely illegal. I'd be forced into early retirement if the board found out. I produce bootleg serials. I can't help myself. Jurisprudence After Hours, or All My Colonists, The New Immortals, romance, tragedy, debt collection. And they're all mine.
That was you? Oh my stars. All My Colonists is just... Well, it gave me a story hangover for days, Mr. Udom.
You're a fan? I've never met one in the flesh. I suddenly feel quite naked.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Udom. I don't judge.
The heart wants what it wants, as they say, and mine yearns for the adoration of the masses. Held at a comfortable distance, of course. I wish I could say others felt the same. I've made nothing on them. Not a bit. My losses are staggering.
Czyli rozumiem, że potrzebowałeś pieniędzy na produkowanie seriali. Jak je zdobyłeś?
I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fence here on the Groundbreaker. I can't authorize the paperwork you'll need to turn Phineas in without it.
Stray too much from the, straight and narrow, and one may just find himself assigned pastoral duty in a maximum security penitentiary.
It's only temporary, of course. I'd never leave something so important in the hands of someone of such dubious moral character. I was going to buy it back once I raised the capital. So you'll need to get my seal back from her if you want to hand Phineas over to the board.
Dobra.
That's the long and short of it, yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm certain Gladys can be made, well, can probably be made to see reason. I'll be waiting eagerly for your return. Now, is there any way in which I might assist you?
Wszedłem w sprawie Jessie Doyle. Chcę uregulować jej dług.
Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases.
Jest warta więcej żywa niż martwa. Podpiszę za nią kontrakt pracy przymusowej.
That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but... I don't know, Captain. Just doesn't seem right.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? You might be surprised. But we'll proceed on the assumption she'll be reasonable. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work?
O, proszę. 9. poziom.
Is it Mr. Wells, the fellow who woke you? How bad could he be?
Spoko.
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. except being right. That's nice too. The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better than average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off.
Może by się do nas przyłączyła? Chcesz powiedzieć, że będziesz dla mnie pracować tylko dlatego, że pomogłem Jessie?
If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version.
Witaj na pokładzie, Eli.
You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Time to play favorites, Captain.
Spotkamy się na statku. Stoi zacumowany przy promenadzie.
Traveling in style, are we? I'll be sure to nab a cabin with a view.
Dr. Fenhill, glad you opted to join us. It'll be good to have a Sawbones on the crew.
No i moi drodzy, nie dość, żeśmy zadanie wykonali, to jeszcze zyskałem kolejnego członka. Nie najgorszy kontakt. Dobra, super. Spóźniony transport. Porozmawiam z dr Wandą Dorset w ambulatorium. Dobra, jeszcze mamy troszkę czasu. Sprzedawca w sklepie Kosmo Luba. Podróż gdziekolwiek. O, niespłacony dług. Zdobyć pieczęć rady należącą do Udoma. Dobra, na razie tego nie będziemy robić, bo to jest chyba tak czy inaczej ta sama osoba. 37. Aha, to wszystko mi kieruje do jednej osoby. O, pijąc szafirowe wino. Może jeszcze to zadanie mi się uda zrobić, ja wiem. Jak będzie krótkie, to tak. Jeżeli... Powiem wam, że całkiem fajna ta... Aha. Jeszcze tutaj mamy punkciki do wydania. Obrażenia zadawane przy trafieniu głowy słabego punktu bronią długą plus 20%. To się dotyczy każdej tutaj broni. Dobra, perfazja. Ukrywanie 7 punkcik, technologia 2. Albo ukrywanie się też damy 2 punkty, bo tu mamy hakowanie, otwieranie zamków. Albo i przywództwo. Dobra. A tu na razie nie mamy dostępnych.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
A, to czekaj, to nie jest czasem ta postać? Która z nami rozmawiała? Chyba tak.
Those XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township?
Czekajcie, wchodzimy.
I thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sublevel.
Talk to your local...
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
Bartul, twój statek jest niczego sobie, naczelniczko.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
Robię wszystko, co w mojej mocy, aby pomóc utrzymać porządek.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Teraz, gdy odzyskałem statek, lecę na Monarcha.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
Parvati chciała się porozmawiać z Junlei. Śmiało.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it?
That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if, well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Parvati, nie bój się poprosić o wolny dzień, jeśli chcesz skonsultować się z kimś na osobności.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner.
Nie ma możliwości kompromisu. Rada chyba nie chce, aby Pionier spłonął.
None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive.
Inteligencja, potrzebujesz wykonawcy, który tym się zajmie. Chętnie pomogę za rozsądną cenę.
Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Hold on. There's something you should know before you go charging off. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
No proszę i super, otrzymaliśmy zadanko, które będziemy oczywiście w następnym odcinku siekać. Ja sobie tutaj zawsze na mapie szukam, zaznaczam zadanie i szukam na mapie, gdzie mamy iść, a tutaj wystarczy, sobie wejść w ten sposób i wszystko widzimy. Moi drodzy, kończymy materiał. Powiem wam, że gra jest po prostu fantastyczna, naprawdę. Już się nie mogę doczekać drugiej części, ale jeszcze żeśmy pierwszej nie ukończyli i mamy jeszcze dodatki, jeszcze przed nami cała gra, dopiero żeśmy praktycznie zaczęli serię. To jest dopiero 7. odcinek. Naprawdę świetna gra, polecam. Z czystym sumieniem kupujcie, grajcie, bo jest w co. Kończymy, bo już nie mamy czasu, więc ja się z wami żegnam. To tyle z mojej strony. Cześć.